Payoff pitch to Hubbard.
Yeah.
Breaking ball called. Strike three. Back-to-back
yeah.
strikeouts for the second time tonight for Ty Pangborn. Both of them in a key situation here in the third.
We stuck together, we two peas in a pod. You dealt a bad hand, I'm there seizing the cards. We'll never be separated.
Hi there, Pippins fans. I'm Harmon Johnsen here with your 2025 All-Star selection, Ty Pangborn, a pitcher from Ohio. Ty, first of all, congratulations. And what does this mean to you to be named to the All-Star team?
I'm really happy. I'm glad my hard work's paying off, and I'm really excited to represent the team in the All-Star game and kind of show people what the Pippins are about.
What has your journey been to get here in your college career? I know you spent a couple years at Tri-C Community College and then last year with Akron. Just describe your journey getting to Yakima this summer. You said this was your first summer of summer ball as well.
Coming out of high school, I wasn't, I was topping 85 miles an hour. The only offers I had were JUCO, and I believed that that wasn't the athlete I was. I could do better. So I decided to go to Tri-C for 2 years, played there, and then ended up spending my junior year at Akron. And then our recruiting coordinator, who was originally from out here, got me hooked up with the coaches, and I decided to come out here and play for Yakima.
Describe your journey in this sport of baseball. It's different for everybody, but just tell me how you got into the sport and why you continue to play today.
I started playing very young, as a lot of other guys on the team, and then just from a young age, I loved it. I was a better player on the Little League field, but I remember when I was a little kid, laying in my bed upset because games got rained out, or, upset that we lost in a tournament and didn't get to play more. And so, my entire life has just been, how much baseball can I play and how long can I continue this dream of mine of playing baseball.
It's a long journey out here from the state of Ohio, but your family was out here for a little while, especially your dad. He participated in some of the on-field activities here at the ballpark. What does that mean to have them out here this summer, in your first summer away from home playing baseball? And what was their reaction when they found out you were going to be an All-Star?
I was really happy to hear that they were able to make it out here. They're really busy at home, and at first I didn't know if they'd be able to get the time. But when I talked to them and they said, we got our flight scheduled, we're going to be there next week, I was really excited. Because they really didn't get to see me, pitch a whole lot this past year, and I could tell they were missing baseball as well. So I was really excited for them to come out here and be able to, throw in front of them and have their support from within the ballpark. And when I ended up telling my parents, they were really excited. They were mainly just happy for me that, my hard work was paying off, and I'd gained my confidence back, and I was back to the pitcher that they knew I was down deep. So it was really exciting to have them out here.
Yeah, coming into opening day, you were the starter for these Pippins. You said you had been struggling a little bit with that confidence. On opening day, is this where you envisioned yourself by the middle part of this season?
If I'm being honest, yes. I'm a big believer in, having a winning mindset and having that confidence and telling yourself that, you're not going to go out on the mound and try to do your best. You're going to go out there and you're going to do your best. You're going to throw 9 innings. You're going to put up zeros. And, I'm a huge fan of just, keeping that confidence. And, coming out to the West Coast League, I struggled with confidence, but I knew what pitcher I was deep down. And, I had some people to prove wrong, and I had to prove myself right that pitcher was still inside me. And I'm really glad I was able to find it here with the Pippins.
How do you balance that, going out every 5 or 6 days, trying to keep up that confidence with also having the fun and enjoying the summer ball?
I'm a big fan of, baseball isn't your only thing. I really enjoy fishing and hanging out with the guys outside of baseball. But, on a day like today where it's a start day, as soon as that hour 45, hour 30 minutes before first game or first pitch, there is nothing happening outside of baseball. All it is you're pitching, get ready to pitch. And so I really try to kind of, mix some other things into my life in between starts to, keep the dream going. And so, but as soon as that game starts getting close, it's time to really focus in and, hyper focus on baseball.
What are you looking forward to the most when you get up to Bellingham next week?
I'm really excited just to play with some other guys from the South. I know we have some really good competition. And I know there's a lot of guys that I'd like to be on the same team with and just kind of, talk with them, see how their baseball career is. So I'm just really excited to compete with some guys from the South.
If there's one thing you're looking for out of the last couple of series in this summer after the All-Star break, what is it?
I'm looking for some of our guys to just get that confidence back, know they can do it and go out there and, perform, and for everyone to have fun winning. So I'm just really hoping for the team to come together and, start winning some baseball games and have fun while doing it.
As one of those leaders in the clubhouse, what have you noticed has changed from the start of the year to this All-Star break?
Now with a lot of summer ball teams, a lot of guys come and go, with pitch counts and all that. But I've noticed that a lot of guys have put their differences aside and bonded as a team, and realized, okay, I've never met this kid before. He may only be playing with us for a couple weeks, but, while we're on the field together, we're brothers, we're wearing the same jersey, we're playing for the same thing. And so really just like taking other people in and, playing with them.
Last question here. If there's one memory you want to remember either from this All-Star selection or the summer overall, what are you hoping to take home to your next stop in your college career?
I'd really hope to take to my next stop in my career is the Mafia games on the bus. The team's a big fan of Mafia. We often get 15, 20 guys back there playing, and games will go for 30, 35 minutes. But it's a good way to kind of wipe the game and not hyper focus on performance, but realize baseball is a game. We're supposed to have fun, and so just being able to relax on the bus and play some games with your teammates, it's really nice.
For those that don't know, what is Mafia?
Mafia is a role game where there's a narrator and he hands out a bunch of roles, and then pretty much the main goal is the Mafia to take over all the townspeople, and the townspeople to figure out who the Mafia is. So it's a lot of pointing fingers, setting people up, defending yourself, and it just allows guys to kind of communicate with each other than baseball and kind of come together as friends instead of just teammates.
Well, Ty, congratulations on the All-Star selection. We look forward to seeing you pitch on Wednesday.
Same with me. Thank you.
Ty and the rest of the All-Star teams will be taking the field on Wednesday, July 16th up at Bellingham's Joe Martin Field for the All-Star presentation. The game will be on MLB Network streaming platforms, MLB TV, and you can watch that at 6:30 p.m. With Ty Pangborn, I'm Harmon Johnsen. Thanks for joining us with this sit-down with the Pippins All-Star in 2025.